Hi, this is Nairi. Welcome to my channel, and we've got some ephemera busting today. That's what I'm calling it. So on this side is all the ephemera that I know is going in my vintage sewing themed journal. Okay, so I've pulled a lot of the tags out and they're not finished. So they've either haven't got ribbon in the top, they haven't got a punch, or they need embellishment on them. So that's that pile. And then this pile here is the pile of possible pockets here and journal card backings, and so we see how we get on with the first pile. But I definitely need extra tags and journaling cards in there as well, so that's probably going to have to happen. And if it doesn't happen on this video, it will happen on another video. Okay, so how are you guys? You doing good? So I'm getting to the point with my journal now where I feel like we're getting to the end point where the finishing touches are important, but it's not quite there yet. So I won't go as far to say as I'm frustrated, but I'm getting to the point where I'm trying to make those special things to go in, and I will show you in a minute a special thing that I made yesterday which got me all glued up, but I'm really happy with it. It's like I don't know if you look back on my channel, you see that I made a raggedy. It's like a piece of paper with all sorts of things splaining out of it, and it's like a filler almost. Well, this isn't quite a raggedy. It uses the pattern paper, tissue paper, on top of some material, and it folds, and then it's got some material inside for like pockets for little tags. I was really happy with it, and it goes in between the signatures. Sorry, that's what I was going to say. The main thing is I can put it between the signatures where you get that little gap and you're not quite sure what to do with it, and it does look really nice. So that's an extra I've put in. I think, you know, part way through this I'll show you some extras I've made for the journal which I'm really proud of, and just let me know if you think it's something you would know, that you can tell how to make it, or whether you think you'd quite like me to sort of show you how to make it. I mean, they're not complicated, but I wasn't sure whether it could be a video or not. I wasn't sure how. I'm not going to say I don't think that they would be, you know, that difficult to make. Now this is going to be, I really don't want to use the Fabri-Tac today because it's been playing me up and not coming out, whereas this glue comes out super fast. That's the opposite problem, but I'm going to try to use this glue, otherwise you'll be waiting for me to shake that Fabri-Tac around for the whole video. Oh, I don't think that would be very much fun. Okay, so that's just like one tag, cute enough I think. I'm not going to corner round because I do have a corner round. It's not very big, I'm not sure about it. So that's that one. This could descend into all manner of chaos, this session. It already has, because that one just dropped on the floor. I don't want it on the floor. Yeah, so I'm getting to the point where I'm looking at what makes it special for sale. Because I don't keep my journals. I do journal and I use planners and stuff, but I mean, I could keep one or two. I'm not worried about keeping one or two, but I sell them, and I'm looking at it thinking, what will people like about it, and what extra would people want to see for it to be that little bit special, you know? By the way, I'm not going to put this lace in every single one of them, but I do like this lace for this particular journal. So I've also got some of this thin ribbon which I think looks quite nice for a sewing journal, so I'm mixing and matching it. Don't worry, we won't be sat here bored to tears. Where was I going with that? No, completely forgotten train of thought there. Completely. So I had a really good day yesterday. I'm on lots of medication, guys, on lots of things, and it makes you a bit sluggish, but I had such a good day yesterday. I did a lot more, not in the crafting realm, but just generally, and it made me feel so good. And what have we got in here? I've got all sorts of little bags of stuff, so we should be able to ring the changes enough for me to be happy with it. I need my label bag though, and this is not the label bag. I have these. What have I done with it? I've got it all floating around on the desk so I can grab it Otherwise I've got to keep getting up and down off this chair to go and find what I'm looking for, and that won't work. Now that is a bit big. It may be that I cut a piece of sort of paper like that. So this is from my kit, okay, so I love it, and I almost don't want to cover up the design. However, it makes the tags all look a bit samey and uninteresting once you've got it in a journal, because you can clearly see it's from a kit and it just makes it look a bit samey, and I don't want that. So what I did is I pulled all the tags back out of the journal, which is good because then when I put them back in, I can place them back in according to what looks right in a journal, rather than what I do when I make a journal is I pop everything in to see how much I need to make. I don't necessarily pop it where it's going to end up. No, I think that would look nice on there. Let me trim that. I can't even think about what I was talking about to you guys. Yes, good day yesterday. Actually went for a longer walk. My back held out. Saw my grandson. Felt a bit human again. Because I needed to see how far I could walk with my back. So I think a bit of gentle walking is going to be good now. Build it up. It was absolutely freezing. It's freezing in the UK at the moment. Okay, so quite like that, but it sort of feels like it's not quite finished. We've got some pearls. I think I might be a bit ambitious with how many we're going to work through here, but you get the sentiment. We're ephemera busting, okay? So we're going to get it done, but if we don't get it all done, it's not the end of the world. We'll just come back and do some more. It's the sort of thing I'd love to do in the evening, but one, I don't think you guys would be involved in that because the light would be terrible in here, and I love doing no. I love creating things in the evening, but I'm not as creative in the evening. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's going to stay on there. If not, the Fabri-Tac will need to come out, but I'll let that dry. We'll have a look at the end. Okay, so this was a masterboard where I put lots of different papers on, which I thought they weren't sewing related per se, but sort of suited it. And then I put that the pattern paper on the back. So it's really cute, isn't it? However, you can't really write on that, I'm thinking. So as a journaling card, it doesn't work. So I'm going to need to put some sort of paper on the back so people can journal on it. So I do have some nice dyed paper. Just a little bit on there. I need to have. Let me just cut a strip. So yeah, it was a good day yesterday. It was a bit wiped out in the evening. And I just need to go back to the doctor and decide if I need to stay on some particular tablets I'm on for trigeminal neuralgia that I've got, which I had 3 years ago, whether I come off of them or not, but a bit scared to do that, honestly. Just fold that a little bit there. I can feel that I'm sat super awkwardly on this chair, so I might be shuffling around in a minute. So what are you guys up to? In my last video, near the end it was, I must admit, so it's probably most people hadn't watched up to that point. Thank you, Donna, though, for your suggestion. I told you all the things, all the different journals that I could make with all the different kits that I have at the minute. So let me run through those again while I'm doing this, and you can have a think about what you'd like to see. If you all say different, I'll just pull it out of a hat and we'll just go from there. It's not working very well. It looks a bit contrived, doesn't it? I think we need some ribbon or something across there so it doesn't look so silly. I didn't want to cover up that pattern paper, but if anybody's going to write on this, it's not going to work, is it? Unless we do. Now that looks nice, doesn't it? Or we can go at the top. I think the top looks nicer. And we're going to need this ridiculous Fabri-Tac. I say ridiculous, it's amazing, but it's not even at the bottom of the bottle, and I'm just struggling to get it out. If anybody's got any ideas around that, let me know. I think there are different bottles you can put stuff in, but I'm not sure whether that works well for Fabri-Tac. Hang on, let's just see if we want something else on here. Maybe a contrast colour. This lot came from Perlogy, and I thought I'm never going to use all these. I think I got one of their big packs, and they have a lot of, I love it, but they have a lot of the same sort of stuff sometimes, don't they, if you've ever come across them. And I was thinking I'm never going to use all these, but I think I probably will. Okay, so the kits that I've made are as follows. Let me try and remember. Peter Rabbit, Under the Sea, check with the right way up. I mean, yeah, Under the Sea, Bluebell Fairy. I do actually have some blue wallpapers as well, which could fit with that kit as well. What else we got? It will come to me in a minute because I know that's not everything. Gypsy Traveller or Gypsy Boho. I haven't named that one. It's not actually on Etsy yet, but it's made. And like an Indian one, an Apache one, which is really quite different. I don't think I've seen it. Well, I haven't seen anybody who's done that one before. Maybe they have. I think that's everything. I probably have forgotten one. If so, you'll see a little flash up on the screen with anything I've forgotten. There we go. And I did think I was going to make a big journal next with an outside beaded signature, but it could be that that's not the next one, but I definitely would like to have a go at that at some point. Let's chop that off. Okay, so that's more of a journaling card, although to be fair, the size of where you write would just be more like a tag. But it's very sewy-like, isn't it? Sewing themed. So I'm probably going to call this journal The Seamstress when I put it on Etsy. And I'd like to get it finished within the next week or so, because I feel like, you know, I want to get it done by the end of January, because themes change, don't they? Seasons change, and yeah, I don't always launch straight into the next one, although with you guys here I might do. Now I have a hair on now. I'm not going to try and worry about that for now. So that's our third one. Right, what else we got? We've got another one like that, but let's just do a simple hole here. Check that you can see. I didn't check that at all. Okay. Oh, there we are. So, some of you may not know if you're new to the channel, I do live in beautiful Cornwall. I don't live right down in the heart of Cornwall, and when Poldark came out, I didn't watch it the first time round all those years ago. I wasn't living in Cornwall then, and I don't know. One of my daughters said, "Oh, have you watched it?" I'm like, "No, you're gonna love it," because I like period dramas. And the first time I watched it, I don't even think I watched it from the beginning, because potentially it had got partway through and I picked it up and thought, I don't know what's going on. And I don't think I actually watched it again from the beginning. So I thought I would watch it, and just enjoying it actually. I enjoy the interaction of the relationship between the two of them and how it goes through its ups and downs and its peaks and flows, but the love kind of gets them through. I really like it. It's very cleverly done, isn't it, with that relationship, if you've watched it. Now that looks silly. It looks like a pair of bunny ears, and I don't like it. So it's added a bit of colour, which I think is good. I'm just thinking just trim it then. Go a bit smaller, which is a bit of a waste of that ribbon, but that's better, isn't it? Still looks like bunny ears, but cute bunny ears. Right, what can we have on there? Let's see. I mean, this is a nice button, but it'd have to go on something, wouldn't it? So let's pick up on a bit more checked. I did say this would descend into chaos, and as you can see, my desk is descending into chaos, but glue looks okay. And right, so let's go across the bottom. I just think it might brighten this one up. It's supposed to be vintage looking, so it's not supposed to be bright, but you still want your journal to look pretty, don't you? So let's have that on there, shall we? And the Fabri-Tac is oozing nicely. We just don't want it to dry out. So last night I didn't watch Poldark. Sometimes it gets me all hyped up before I go to bed. So what did I watch? I try to relax in the evening, otherwise I just don't sleep, because I don't sleep very well anyway. I watched something about homing dogs. I love dogs, and it was really nice. And whilst I was doing that, I cut out the extra ephemera, just basic shape tags, so that was possible to do that just whilst I was relaxing. Now that doesn't look anything now. And that's too pink, isn't it? So I'm thinking maybe not a button. I do have these cute little things here. I mean, that looks nice. I wasn't sure that I wanted to use them all up. And it has got a little tie on it. So it's more of a dangle, so maybe I don't waste that on there. It's lovely as it looks. It's just too green, isn't it? Okay, I can see me now. I'm struggling now. Let's just see. I mean, it's slightly odd against that, isn't it? But it does lift it, so I'm gonna go against my gut feeling on this and just do it. Maybe we need another colour behind it just to make it look like it's supposed to be there. She says, trying to get this off with her nails. Let me just see if I've got another piece of material that can go behind. Not material, sorry, papers. What we got? What we got? Got so many nice things here. Yeah. No, it doesn't look quite right. It was almost better without. It would look better with a button on there now, wouldn't it? We can't be this faffy though, because we've got too much to do. But I'm going to say that that would look better. And what am I supposed to do with this now? I'll just chuck it on top of my apparatus. And Fabri-Tac needed again for this. It's funny how when you're doing the stuff like this, you have your plan, but honestly everything just evolves as you're going along, which makes it tricky on camera, because you want to be like everything just finesse, you know, happening. Okay, it's not bad. Quite like it. Everyone's different. Everything here is different. Now this one is quite an odd colour, in the sense that it's not fitting with the other colours, so I don't think I'm going to put any paper on the back of this one. Let me see. I think something like sari silk would really lift this now. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Put that on. Sari silk always lifts everything, I think. Everybody goes for sari silk. I was watching a video that was nothing to do with crafting, it was to do with YouTube. And how she was saying, which, to be honest, she was a feisty little madam with really bad language. Like, why am I watching this? I don't like it when people, we call it swearing over here, but curse online. I just think it's really unnecessary. But anyway, she was saying how we're all little sheep, and that when we're making videos, we just copy what everybody else is doing. And that's very true, you know. So like, somebody decided sari silk was the thing, and now sari silk is the thing. Right. I don't know why I'm making these extra long and then cutting them off and wasting things, but it will come in handy if I can find it when I need it. So that's pretty. And as I say, it can't be written on, but do you know what? I'm going to put that there. I'm not sure about it, but I can't have it winging around the place. And a pearl would look really good now, or even a pink button. Let's go for a pearl or two, shall we? Whoop! We'll keep rolling around. Okay. I think it would look good. So let me just do that. Maybe 3. I hope you didn't see my head then, I bet you did. Oh, there's a bead. On you go. It just wants to stick to you. Me, I mean. That's going to make that poke out awfully in the journal. But it does look nice together, doesn't it? And maybe what I'll do in the journal is stick it. No, because I want that. I want people to be able to see that. This is the almost unique part, isn't it? I wonder if there is just a little piece of something that we can use. Where's that paper gone? That one. Maybe I should. There's loads of places in the journal to journal, to be fair, but I still feel like we should have a little space. Otherwise I'll feel bad. There we go. Okay, we're doing well, guys. Very well, I say. I checked my camera, I checked the battery, I checked the space on it, so it should be good. Oh gosh, I'm just trying to get comfortable. Right, let's do a few where we just got mainly ties, shall we? I'm not going to put eyelets in these because it's just a faff, and I've worked out how to do the eyelets now though, because if you saw my other video I was struggling with, well, I don't understand this. So I went to my husband and say, which way round is it where you squeeze these eyelets together? There's no way of knowing. He said, well, if you look at the shape, oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it? He said, if you look at the shape on the gadget, he said you can tell which way round it is. And as soon as he said it, I was like, oh, of course you can. I was like, I just couldn't see it for myself until he pointed it out. So I've worked it out. And I think if I'd known that before I put the sari silk on my journal, I would have gone for an eyelet closure, threaded the silk through, but hey ho, that could be for another journal, you know, live and learn. Now that does look nice, doesn't it? You think? Everybody? You can't say. So, since I've started this channel, which is kind of streamed off of another channel where I was doing this alongside other stuff on another channel, I've started to subscribe to more people who just do junk journals, okay, junk journaling stuff. So a few that I've enjoyed watching, I like watching Tina from Shabby Dabby Doodah, because I like the fact that she doesn't want to have everything perfect all the time. She's happy for things to be unmeasured and just go for it, and I really like that about her. And her mask making is fun as well, so that's not quite as effective as on the plain one, but it's very pretty still, isn't it? So I like watching her. I don't watch all her videos, but I do like watching her. But somebody who I really like watching, who's probably newer to it, but has made a lot of journals, I can tell, because they're in her shop, is Tracy J Designs. That's the name of the channel. And I just really find her relaxing when she crafts. And she'll do a bit of crafting, a bit of chatting, and I think she's from New Zealand. It could be Australia, but I'm pretty sure it's New Zealand. So those are two the same, so let's not keep doing the same. I do have more fabric which I can grab. I've also got that. So one of the things that I need to do to my journal is add what I call the fabric edges to the pages. I haven't been able to use my sewing machine for quite a long time since this back problem, because I did notice that moving around where I was working was causing a lot of problems. So this doesn't have any sewing in it, this journal, which is a bit unfortunate being a sewing journal, isn't it? But there you go. So I'll be gluing lots of bits of different fabric, chiffon and prints, because I bought a snippet roll of fabric from somewhere which is beautiful. So I've got lots of fabrics that I'm going to add to the edges of the pages, so I definitely will do a video on that because that's fun for you to see. And but when I get to that point, I'll be nearly done with that journal, so I don't want to show you too much of it in a minute because I'd like you to see it as a flip through really. Okay, that's good, but you can't see the numbers on it, can you? Can't actually see the numbers. It's not quite how I wanted it to be, but no, never mind. It's okay actually. I'm going to leave that one like that. It's got a nice little pattern and design on it. Okay, so that's enough few of those for a minute. Now let's go for something. This is pretty, isn't it? So let's do that one next because we can add a few cute things to it. I've added paper on the back of all of these, so it will just be any new ones we make, which is ambitious. Of the other pile of stuff I showed you, that's very ambitious, I think, based on this pile we have here, but we're doing well. Can we put on that one? I definitely feel like, yes, we can add a bit of pink lace, can't we? So my plans today are, hubby and I haven't really done much together recently. So we are retired, but you know, it's retired with 7 children, 5 adult and 2 at home still. Adopted son's home. It's not really a retirement in the same way as most people would expect. Can I tie that or not? It's not long enough. Maybe not. I don't know if this is going to work. It's a bit short. We'll see. So we're just going to go to a local sort of store, which is, if I say local, it's a little bit further into Cornwall. It's one of these eclectic kind of stores that has a little bit of everything in it. Jumbly. That's not going to work. So let's add it. I put that in upside down anyway, haven't I? Although, no, I haven't. Let's put it on the bottom. I'm changing my tack here and something different in there. It's, unless you live in Cornwall and you've met Cornish people, you can't begin to imagine what this store might look like. It's just very random, but it's fun. It has lots of different things in it. Sometimes things are cheaper, sometimes they're not, but it's a fun store to go and lose yourself in a little bit. You tend to come away with stuff you didn't really want, but it's part of the fun of going together. And I've started to work on my weight again. I've done that before and lost weight, and I haven't put it all back on, but it has been creeping on. So we're not going to have any we're not going to have a meal there. Not that their food is amazing anyway, but we'll have lunch at home. And then we never let the boys on their own much because they've got lots of issues and problems, but they do have a key tonight. I mean, they are nearly 14 and 15, so it's not that we can't do that, but they do argue quite a lot, so we don't normally, but for one night, you know. I'm going to put some of this nice lace on this one as well. Yes, although I do have some material. Let me just have a look at this one. Actually, those colours go really well, don't they? I mean, I could come in a little bit more for you guys, but I just worry that I might end up being out of frame, but you can just see the pile of mess I'm in here. Yeah, so they've got a key, which means we'll have a little bit of leeway because my husband's got to go out first, then we've got to have a lunch, and the boys will be back about 3:30. We probably won't get out until about 1. So I'll go and look at their craft section down there, but they don't have a lot. The UK's not great for crafty stuff, if I'm honest with you. We've got a few major stores, but you can't, you know, it's limited. You wouldn't walk into any UK sort of store and find really any of the really lovely major brands that you might want to browse. So yeah, don't hold up much hope that that'll be very successful, but Tim and I probably have a laugh together on the way down, chat, you know, spend a bit of time, because I think that's necessary. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't love this tie here, but it's different and I don't want them all to look the same. And once it's in the journal, it'll have a joint effect of togetherness, won't it? I mean, we could put something else down here. I mean, that's pretty, isn't it? Make this a very blingy one. Okay. Please don't stop doing this to me, glue, because this is what it does, and then we're shaking my arms around and getting nowhere. It's clogged up a bit, look, anyway, isn't it? Yeah. No, now I'm very sticky. Very sticky. It dries so quick, which is the great thing about it, but then unless you're moving pretty quick with this, or you keep putting the lid on every single time. Actually, I might put it up there. There we go. Yeah, so what I did on this channel, I was doing a decorative planning channel, and I dipped into junk journaling a little bit over the few years that I was, couple of years that I've been running it, but never really got into it. And then I started to get into it a lot more, but I found that the audience that were looking for the planning were probably not in the main then. That's pretty, isn't it? So every time you produce a video, you realise that most people are not, you know, I think I'm going to leave her as it is there. Most people are just not interested in that subject, so you're kind of on a bit of a lost leader from the beginning. So it was a risk starting a new channel, honestly, and I don't really know how I feel about the old channel now, because I found with planning, because you can't share what you're writing in your planner because it involves your family and personal stuff, then the decorative planning is all you can show. And I love that. I love doing it. But it's almost like it's unfinished business to me, and then I've got to go away and fill my planner out separately. So I've got this on the back of here as well. So this is a nice one, isn't it, I think? I mean, my printer's all wrong. I'd run out of ink. So this was a pale pink with black on it, supposed to be, and I think it was Blossom Designs or something got it from, so it was lovely, but my printer's run out of ink, so I had to mix it in with stuff. I think I could take this big piece of something like that. Should we do that? So I've already got an adoption subject channel anyway, which was my very first thing that I did. It's how I got into YouTube, sharing about adoption. So I'm not gonna give that one up. That's only really needing, we're blobbing glue everywhere here, I can assure you. What have I done with that? It's that one's only really needing, where can I put that, down the bottom or at the top? Down the bottom. That one only needs one video a week. I'm sure people would watch more, but actually when I used to do 2 or 3, they didn't always get watched. But I think it's not the same as crafting. I think people on the crafting channels are more than happy to watch more than one a week, but it's a bit different with adoption subjects, I guess, isn't it? It's a bit more serious, or shall we say deep. It's not always serious, but it's a bit deeper, I suppose. So yeah, sorry, that was just a bit of a waffle about YouTube, and I don't know what to do about that. I'd rather be doing what I enjoy at my age, you know. It's not really, no point in doing stuff for the sake of it, is there? I don't think there is anyway, but there's no time to kind of do stuff you don't love, is there? Right, now this could have a hole in it, punch in it, and something coming out. I don't want to use the same lace, so I might grab something else in a minute. Yeah, let's have that to make it completely different. I mean, a normal hole punch is fine for this. I just happen to have this lying around, but you don't need it. Like, if you haven't got this, you just use a normal hole punch. Most people would, I'm sure. Now, it could be that, could be that. I think probably that. Or, yes, I've got this. I think that would be nice with her. She was meant to be black anyway. In a minute, I'm just going to move, what I'm going to do is move the ephemera that is not already had stuff done to it like this out the way, because that's a separate pile that I just think we may not get to, might we? Let's put that one on. We're doing really well, actually. I'm happy with this. Right, so these are the ones that have got something going on with them already. You can see how much is going to go in this journal and how it packs it out. That's got nothing on it. Just having a little tidy, everybody. Grab yourself a coffee if you need to. Not there. Whoops, that just fell down. So these are the ones that may end up being for another day. So let's pop them over there. There. Okay. Now I'm going to grab some different materials, I think, because I think we could do with a change. So let me just go and do that. Okay. Okay, so that needs something bright probably, or not bright, but so this is the snippet strip. I've used some of it already. Can't remember who sold it, but I'm loving it. So it just makes it easy because they don't necessarily match, but they're very thin materials with nice patterns on them. So let's have some of that on there, and I think that would probably be fine, just like that. I could have that on there like that. Unfortunately, we've got to use this. I won't add fabric to all of them because then we just got this faffing around with this glue, which is much harder to get out. So let me know in the comments. I think I've asked this before. Do some of you watch this but think, no, I can't do a journal because I don't want to do the signatures? If the answer to that is yes, and you've never had a go at making a signature with a sewing thing, and you want me to just do the simple, basic one signature with, say, scrap paper on the outside, like a folder document style, literally, so it doesn't really have a spine, and you want me to show you how to do a signature, then let me know. I mean, there's loads of places you can find it. You don't need me to show you. You can go on and find it anywhere, but I'm happy to do it, and that will be an interlude. I won't do my next proper journal yet. I'll do that. I'll do one for you. Maybe print out some of my Valentine's ephemera or something like that. But if nobody's watched it this far and nobody asked for that, then I won't do that. I'll move on to the next journal. I'd love to put that on there, but I don't think it will be long enough. Let's use this one. So I'm the sort of person who doesn't corner round. I used to be the sort of person who didn't ink, but now I ink. So let me know your thoughts on corner rounding. I know that most people I watch do it, and I do think it looks nice. But I'm not sure I like it more than just a normal square edge. So but let me know, because I'm happy for you to tell me what you think. Okay, so that's that one, but I think it needs something there. I'm sure you're probably seeing my head when I do that. I'm sorry if I've leant forward and you're seeing my lovely grey hair, which incidentally took me 18 months to grow out my brown. I used to have my hair dyed brown. So from about the age of, up until the age of 40, I didn't really have grey hair. And then from about the age of like late 40s, it started to really come then with a vengeance. And I've got very dark, naturally very, very dark hair. So I was dyeing it sort of dark brown, going to the hairdressers. And it got to the point where I was dyeing it every 3 weeks at the hairdressers. And I have to admit, because I've got quite an olive skin, it did make me look younger than what I am. It definitely did. Because people were like, oh, you over 50? So that was nice when I felt like it was doing that. But then we had COVID and it started to get difficult. I think this one, it started to get difficult to get my hair done at one point. And then I thought, you know what, this is every 3 weeks, this is just too much. And I bit the bullet. I thought, right, it's now or never, because otherwise I'm gonna keep dyeing my hair until I'm, you know, pretty old. Excuse me. So I decided to grow it out. Well, it was such a difficult process. It took 18 months, maybe a bit longer than that, for all the brown dye to grow out. So once I'd got halfway through, I was like, right, I'm doing this now. But it took me a long time to accept how I looked, because then I think like I look my age now. I don't think I look older. I just think I look my age. And I can't get away with kind of looking younger. And my mum is looks very young for her age. And she doesn't actually dye her hair, but she still does look very young for her age. People don't believe, you know, you say to her, people that she's 80, they can't really believe it. So I kind of come from good stock, but my dad definitely looked his age, so kind of in one way yes and one way no. Do we need, no, I'm not going to put anything else on that one. Let's see what we think about this one. So it took me a long time to get used to the fact that I now look my age, I look a grandma. And at one point I said to my husband, well, if I have grey hair, I'm not having longer hair, because again, that's something I've always had, is longer hair. So I've got very thick slightly wavy hair, and it's always, don't know about that, what do you think? Yes, we need something on it, I think. It's a bit drab, isn't it? It falls better when it's longer. It's obviously quite difficult to manage because it's thick. It's a type of hair that as soon as it rains goes quite frizzy. It's not the easiest of hair to manage, but it does look nice when it's falling nice, you know, and it tends to fall better, as I say, when it's longer. So I said to him, if I have grey hair, which he was actually happy about, he said, I want us to grow old together. And what he meant was, I think he looks pretty good for his age, but obviously with my dyed hair, I was looking a bit younger than him. He was almost saying, I want us to look similar, you know. I said, well, if I do go grey and stick with this, I can't have long hair. I'm not sure I like it long and grey. She was like, yeah, okay. So I kept it fairly short. I've never had it really short. And just recently, because I hadn't been able to get to the hairdresser, because I hadn't been able to sit for long enough in a chair to maybe have, I think this will look nice, don't you, with this one? I just let it grow out a little bit over Christmas and the New Year, because I couldn't sit in a chair long enough to get my hair done. I said, what do you think? He said, I think it looks really nice. I don't want to say typical man, but typical man, really. He's always liked long hair anyway, on me especially. And what I noticed was that the under part of my hair was still quite dark, so actually with it growing a bit longer, there was a bit of dark kind of showing more than when I had it cut shorter. I can't remember where I was going with this. So it's now like well down past my shoulders, but I'm having it cut on Saturday because he has admitted, as I thought he would, that now it's getting to the point where it just looks too long on me. So I'm going to have a good inch, maybe 2 inches cut off, and keep it in a longer style but not have it much past my shoulders, and I think that would be a good compromise, as they say. I don't know that that needs anything. Do you know what, I'm not going to do anything at all to that one. I quite like it as a receipt, and I'm going to leave that on the back. So that's one that's not having anything. So let's do this one. I think we're doing very well, everybody. I've got no idea how long I've been on for, and I don't even know whether you guys like longer videos or you don't, but this needed to be done, so a case of getting on with it really, and I might as well do it with you, mightn't I? So yeah, hair getting cut on Saturday, and if I can get down and find that the nail place is open tomorrow, I'll try and get myself booked in there before these nails just fall off. The reason why I have my nails done like acrylic nails is because I have the most horrendous nails that chip and fall off and look horrible if I don't do anything with them. So it's a bit of pride, but now I'm not having my hair done. That looks so wonky, but I can't see where the wonkiness is. It's just something that makes me feel good, I guess, being able to have my nails done. That's pretty, isn't it? There's more of a journaling card. I'm not sure we need a hole in it. I don't want to cover up too much of that either. I wonder if you can write on it. I think I might leave that. I don't want to spoil the back of that one either. Right, look at this cute cat. Can you see that? Isn't that cute? I think we need a little something on here. So I have a cat and I have a dog, but I'll tell you about my cat. He's called Horace, and he was my dad's cat before my dad passed. What can we have? I don't want to cover up the image too much. Just put a tiny bit on the bottom. When my dad got him, I just want to say now, my dad was a a character. Should we just put it like that? He got him from somewhere. I don't know where. He was one of these kind of like characters that, you know, knew someone who knew someone. A man about a dog type of thing. He ended up with this cat from he said from a family that didn't treat him very well, and that made this cat really nervous. Now I put that paper on there, I feel like we need something really nice on there. And when my dad was alive, I went to visit him once, and he said that he had this cat, and I said, well, I've never seen this cat. Are you sure you're not telling me porky pies? I wouldn't have put it past him. He said, no, I've definitely got a cat. I said, well, he's never here when I come. He said, well, I've got this sausage. Honestly. Oh, he had to have a sense of humour with my dad. He said, look, I'm eating this sausage here. He said, I'll call him. I said, all right. He said, you'll come out. I'm like, okay. So he called, hang on, let's just use this. He called Horace, and this cat appeared from underneath the kitchen units where you've got the plinth at the bottom. There was a little gap there. He popped his head out and came up to my dad to try and eat some of this sausage that he had. And it was just so bizarre. And then he went back under the kitchen unit again. Right, I think what I'll do is I'll find some fabric that we haven't used yet for this hole. I've got some lovely fabrics here. Possibly won't see the print on that very well. Hang on. I'll resume this story in a minute. Which you're only going to really find funny if you know anything about cats, really, but it's a story. Right. This will make good material for a Valentine's journal, wouldn't it? So let's not use too much of it in case I do something. So when my dad passed, he didn't have anything to his name. Won't go into why that is, but I'll leave you to guess. But he had this cat. My sister at the time was living quite a lot further away, and because of the way my dad was, didn't really visit him very often, which I don't blame her for at all. So I ended up with this cat called Horace and brought him home. When people come to my house and they suddenly spot this cat, they go, oh, you've got a black cat. I say, yeah. I didn't know you had a cat. I said, no, you won't, because if you're here, the cat is not going to come out. And he is a really good looking cat. He's now about 14. He's really healthy, but he does not like people at all. The only person he will sit next to is me. And he will come up of an evening and sit on the bed with me if I'm sitting on the bed. But if I try and stroke him, I can maybe get one little stroke in behind his head, nowhere near his teeth. But if I linger my hand around or try and stroke him, I think we need a bow here, he will just bite me. And if he is hungry and I don't get on and feed him, it could be that he's even got stuff in his bowl but he doesn't like the flavour. He will keep coming into my face, and if I'm not careful, he will nip my hand. So he is the most unfriendly cat. And I think my boys, adopted boys especially, think that this is what cats potentially are like, you know? Vicious. Right, that's nice, isn't it? I think we'll do... This is a booklet and it needs sticking down, so I'll just do that. No, I'll do that off camera. Let me just pick that. This is part of a raggedy. So a similar look to what I was discussing with you. I won't actually get the raggedy out now, I don't think, because I'm going to leave it like that on that side. Right, so we got these last two, I think. I just had to top the battery up on the camera, so I think I'm living on borrowed time here, if you know what I mean. So these are raggedies, as I mentioned. So on the back I need to put some paper there, but let's just get this done on the front. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this ephemera busting session. If you have, then if you haven't subscribed, then just hit the subscribe button down in the description. If you haven't ever looked at my kits and you think you might be interested, not that I've shown you my vintage sewing theme journal today, I haven't actually shown you the journal, but there's a vintage sewing kit on my Etsy shop, description down below. So, and there's other stuff as well, so you might like some of the stuff I've got there. I feel like that's okay, but lacking something. What's that lacking? A little button. I feel like this is going to need the Fabri-Tac, but I'm not going to stop to worry about that just for a minute. Let's get this on here. So this is the same style as the thing that I told you that opens out. I just promised I would show you that, didn't I? So I might do in a minute. Let's just get this done, shall we? Concentrate on what we're meant to be concentrating on. There we go. The sun is shining beautifully today, but I know it's cold. It's going to be cold when we go out. I'm not going to say prefer the rain to the cold, but I think I get on better with the rain than I do the cold, which probably is the opposite to most people, but that's me. Positive vibes. What else can we have on there? Something. Probably is something in here. So I sorted my desk a little bit out whilst I was charging the battery, because it's just getting too much, you know. That one on there. It's definitely going to need a bit of Fabri-Tac, I think. But I'm not wrestling with this, so if it won't come out, I'm going to just pop it on with the other glue for the minute. Because once this isn't warmed up, it does not want to come out. I can't get art precision art glitter glue here, I don't think. So if anybody knows something that's similar to that, they could let me know in the comments. That's supposed to be like that way around, actually, isn't it? So on the back, this is going to need paper. I'll quickly do that now, I suppose. Otherwise no one's going to be able to write on it. And I don't mind a couple being like that, where you can't write on them, they're just decorative. I mean, I think that's fine, isn't it? But that's not straight, that piece of paper, but I can ink it and do things to it off camera, because I think this has definitely been a long enough video for everybody to put up with. It's a nice piece of coffee dye, and I think this was food colouring, the paste food colouring that you get like if when you're making a proper cake making, you use the paste, the nice and strong pigment colours. There we go, that would do the trick. There we go. So I don't know what my next video will be. I could print out some of my kits actually to show you. I might do that in a video with, you know, maybe a bit more ephemera, but I don't want to make a video doing exactly the same as what I've done now. So more than likely the fabric edging on my journal will be the next one. Perhaps we're showing you some kits as well. There we go. So everyone, hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Let me just show you what we've managed to achieve, because I'll be taking a photo of it ready for this video, so why not? So I see I didn't do anything on her. I'm not going to count them because it seems a bit daft really, but I think we did good together. And I've been nice to have your company and chatting away to actually nobody knows who, but chatting whilst I've been making. And I think I didn't put anything on that one either, but And these I didn't, because I just like them as they are, I think, but maybe not. Maybe I'll put them back for another day. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.